Hello again. If you saw my weekly vlog this week, you would have known that last week was a bit of a rough week for me, but I am feeling better this week. So it made me think that I should make a video on how I get through a depressive episode or a low, whatever you call it, and what I do to prevent it. Now, I'm not a counsellor or a therapist or anything of that sort, but I am a person who has bad anxiety, and occasionally I'll have a depressive episode or a low. So the tips I'm going to share with you in this video is just what helps me. You've probably heard them all before, but maybe hearing them again will make it click for you. So I've divided this video up into two parts. The first part is going to be what I do to prevent lows. It could be rut, funk, depressive episode, low, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it lows. So yeah, the first part is going to be how I prevent lows, and the second part is going to be what I do when it hits you anyway. So number one is eat healthy-ish. I don't mean you have to eat salads and I don't know what else is healthy, salads, but I think it's good to cook your own meals so that you know what is in your food. Because you know that feeling when you go to McDonald's, you eat all the food and it's nice for the moment, but afterwards you just feel like you are still hungry, you're tired, and maybe you even feel a bit sick. Personally, I try and cook my own food. Doesn't have to be complicated. It can be pasta with tomato sauce. I just make the tomato sauce from crushed tomatoes and some mixed herbs. Like, it doesn't have to be complicated. Cooking your own food and knowing what's in it will not make you feel so shit after you've eaten it. And obviously you don't have to eat healthy every day. I mean, I baked a brownie yesterday and ate half of it in one go, so balance. And also drink water. Drink a lot of water. Number two is going to be sleep. This is probably the most important one for me. I try and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, and I try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. I can't remember where I heard it. I think it was on a TikTok, but it seemed pretty legit. When you go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time, your body understands the routine and it can relax properly when you go to sleep. If you go to bed at different times all the time, your body is on like a high alert and it will not quite know when to relax or something like that. This is why I'm not a counsellor or a therapist, because I don't know what I'm talking about, but it made sense in my ears. So get sleep. Also avoid naps. I know naps are so cozy and you just want to, you know, get a blanket and nap, but honestly naps are the devil. They mess up your sleeping schedule, especially if you're trying to get into one where you go to bed and wake up at the same time. Naps can really unhelp that. Number three is shower. I know that sounds obvious, but when you're feeling a bit low, it can be an easy thing to neglect. So if you work it into a routine, it will be kind of easier to do it. I shower my body every evening and it's become part of my routine now. So even last week when I wasn't feeling like doing anything, I still had that motion of going to the shower in the evening. I don't know, something with the warm water running on your body makes you feel all comforted. Sometimes I'll have a shower in the morning as well, like this morning I had a shower, but I will still have a shower in the evening just because it's part of my routine and keeps me clean. So now that I've mentioned routine so much, number four is actually going to be have a routine. So just by fixing your eating, sleeping and shower patterns, you have a basic routine. I had a counsellor that told me that when you're in your low, the only thing you need to tend to is your basic needs, and that is eat, sleep and shower. Just try and establish a routine. Get up at the same time every day, eat breakfast, lunch and dinner, shower, go to bed at the same time every day. The basic routine is the best routine, and obviously anything else you want to add to it, just add, but those are the only things you need to really get into a routine that can help you when you are feeling low. I just want to say, I know it can be really hard if you have like shift work. I work in hospitality, so pretty much all my work life I've done shift work, and it can be really hard to have routines when one day you start at 7 o'clock in the morning and the next day you're doing a night shift. But I used to try and do a routine that would be like, okay, before my work shift I need to shower and eat. Like basic routine things that you know that you would do before your shift. Just a tip if you are a shift worker. Number 5 is going to be exercise, and you don't have to overdo it. Cycling, walking, swimming, gym, it could be anything as long as you're moving for about 30 minutes a day. Don't start exercising trying to lose weight or beating records, anything like that to begin with, unless it works for you. Just find a way to try and move for 30 minutes a day. When I first started exercising for my brain, I felt like it wasn't making a difference for my mental health at all. And people always used to say that they had so much energy and endorphins after they worked out, and I was just feeling the opposite. Like I wanted to have a nap after I'd done a workout. Eventually you don't feel as tired anymore, and I still personally can't feel the endorphins rushing to me after a workout, but I think they're definitely there. Then when I stopped working out because I was heading into a low, I realized how much it actually helped me feeling good. So yeah, number 5 is exercise. Number 6 is to-do lists. You don't have to be a big to-do list person. Personally, I just feel like getting the to-do out clears some space in my brain. Sometimes I will write something down and then I won't do it for weeks or years. Dentist. But at least it stops taking up that brain power that you can spend on something else. Number 7 is to keep your space around you tidy. Now, I am a bit of a clean freak. It's therapy for me. Even if you don't like cleaning, I think keeping it clean around you is quite important for your mental health. I can't remember what the saying is, but it's something like tidy space, tidy mind, or out of sight, out of mind. I don't know what the saying is, but basically if it's tidy you don't have to think about the clutter. A cluttered space represents your cluttered mind. To keep this apartment clean, we've kind of established yet again another little routine. Deep clean every Sunday, or deep clean, like we do some dusting and hoovering and change the sheets, and then on Wednesday we do like a light tidy up. It can feel like it's going to take, you know, 2 hours to do the cleaning, but really it only takes 20 minutes. There's also that thing you can do where you put a timer for 10-20 minutes. You start tidying up, and after the time is done you don't have to do anymore. A good way to start getting into it as well. Number 8 is journal or write things down. This is personally one of the things I am worst at. I am terrible at remembering to journal or write things down, but occasionally I found that it has really helped me from spiraling. So for example, if I've woken up from a really bad dream and it's bothering me, I find that writing it down in my phone notes, what the dream was and what I'm feeling, and then go through it. Sometimes it can help me understand my feelings and where my anxiety is based. It can help occasionally, especially if you're feeling very anxiety riddled and maybe you know why. I definitely recommend writing it down. Number 9 is go to therapy. Just go to therapy. Says me, who I currently don't go to therapy, but I have applied and I'm just waiting for some response. But 2 years ago I tried Betterhelp, and my counsellor there really helped me figure out certain things about my anxiety. Also, I just had someone to write to when I was feeling very low. Eventually I did have to stop because I just didn't have the money for it anymore, but if you do have the money for it, I recommend it. Or if you are in the UK, the NHS has a lot of help you can get that is free or discounted. So I will leave some links below. Number 10 is to avoid alcohol. Alcohol is a depressant, so especially if you're already feeling low, it can enhance those feelings. Personally for me, it is a trigger. I can barely drink one drink without starting to feel a bit anxious. There's not a lot to say about that, just if you feel anxious from alcohol, I would avoid it. Number 11 is avoid too much social media and news or other information that upsets you. I'm very bad at this too. I definitely scroll too much on Instagram and TikTok. That's just a scroll trap. You're getting all this information that can be a bit too much for your brain to process, and it can really overwhelm it. There's obviously all kinds of tips and tricks that you can do. I am not at the highest level of avoiding social media yet, but what I have at least done is I've turned off all the notifications for social media. Do you really need to know when your friend just posted a picture? Not really. It's okay if you like it in 2 hours. That's the only tip I can give really to avoid it, is to at least turn your notifications off. Number 12 is breathe. I can't remember what it's called, but you breathe in for 4 minutes, hold for 7, and breathe out for 8 seconds, that is. I don't usually count the seconds, but I think this is a great breathing exercise to do when you are having an anxiety attack, or just feeling a bit anxious, or just to prevent it. When I am having very bad anxiety, I always forget to do this. I always think in my head like, this is ridiculous, breathing isn't going to help me, it's just air. But then I do it and it helps. So the last one, but one of the most important ones, is to tell someone you can trust that you suffer with anxiety and depression. Tell them what they can do to help when you're feeling low, and make sure that they're okay and available for you when you are not feeling well. It could be your mum, it could be your friend, it could be a flatmate. I think just telling someone that sometimes you are not okay is very important. Someone that you feel could help you. So that was part 1, the preventing part. You know, anything can trigger anxiety, anything can trigger depression, and sometimes it just happens even if you're doing everything to prevent it. So sometimes when you come into that low, it can be really hard to, well, first of all, have the motivation to do anything, and second of all, to remember how to get out of it. When I have a lot of anxiety, I get a very foggy brain. I just can't remember anything. I barely know what to say and how to talk. Sorry, there was a fluff. So this is part 2 for when you are in your lowest low. The number 1 thing you need to do is get out of bed. I know, that's hard, very hard, but it doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the comfortability. Just get out of bed and go sit on the sofa. Or if you don't have a sofa, at least try and make your bed, which I know is a hard thing as well. Just putting the blanket up so that you can't get under the duvet, then you can sit on your bed. Avoid lying down. The second thing is make sure you eat something. Anything. There are no rules of what you can and can't eat when you are feeling at your lowest, because this is survival mode. Keep some microwavable food in your freezer. I like to keep some protein bars in the cupboards, some rice cakes. Anything that I can eat quickly and without thinking is good. Also, if you're struggling to eat when you're feeling low, maybe a smoothie. You can make a super simple one, some frozen berries, banana, and some oat milk. Just food with minimum effort. Don't care about your diet, you know. Also, put a glass of water in front of you. You'll probably drink it then. Number 3 is to focus on one thing at a time. When you wake up, the only thing you need to focus on is getting up out of bed. When you have made it out of bed, the only thing you need to focus on is eating something. When you have finished eating something, the only thing you need to think of is, I'm gonna put a film on. You know, just think of one thing at a time. To-do list can wait till tomorrow. One thing at a time. 1 hour at a time. Number 4 is try and have a shower or a bath. All of these tips are also part of the prevention part. But you know, eat, sleep and shower are the most important ones. So number 4 is have a shower. Number 5 is to be comfortable but not too comfortable. Light some candles, watch your favourite easygoing film. Mine is Shrek. And don't argue with that. Sit in the sofa but don't lie down. Have a cup of tea. Sometimes I find that being comfortable can make the anxiety feel lighter, but don't make yourself too comfortable. Don't lie down, don't have a nap. Number 6 is to tell someone that you're feeling depressed and ask them to help you. If you feel like you've got the strength to do a little bit, ask the person if they can decide what you're going to do. Let them decide what you're going to eat. Let them decide if you're going for a walk. Let them decide what film you're going to watch. When you are at your lowest, it can be really hard to make decisions. At least I find that with my foggy brain. I just can't decide anything. They don't have to be there physically. You can message someone saying, I'm not feeling well, what film should I watch? And they can recommend a film for you. But also just make people aware that you are not feeling well right now, so that they stop bugging you for shit. And also that they keep an eye on you when you're not feeling well. Number 7 is to journal or write to your therapist. It can feel really nice, especially if your low is trauma related. Just getting it out of you can feel like a relief. Number 8 is, if you want to cry, cry. Just let your emotions out. Sometimes when I'm feeling very low, I feel like I shouldn't cry. I feel like I have no reason to cry, or you know how it is when you're in a low, your brain talks all the bad things to you, but you are allowed to cry. And you are allowed to be angry, you are allowed to be sad, and it is not weird as well to have happy moments even though you are depressed. Number 9 is to breathe. It's the easiest and quickest way to feel a little bit of relief. 4 in, 7 hold, 8 release. Remember to breathe. Take a breath now. The out, 8 for 8, I don't understand, but in, hold, out is what I usually do. And number 10 is try and go to bed early and try and get out of bed when you wake up. I know it's hard, but try. And that is all, my friends. That is all I've got. As I already said, I know all of these tips are already out there in the world, and if you feel low and depressed, you probably already know all of these things. Sometimes it just takes someone else to tell you what to do to help you get through it. If you are feeling sad and low right now, please remember that it will get better. I will try and leave some links down below of help you can get. There is help to get in every country. There is therapy to get in every country. You are worth therapy and you are worth being happy. Hopefully some of these tips helped you today. You'll be feeling better in no time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment down below. How are you feeling today? If you're not feeling well, please leave a comment down below and I will respond and try and help you the best I can, I guess. And subscribe to my channel to see what else I get up to. Next week's video is probably going to be a little bit lighter, but you will have to subscribe to see. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.